we've got an intense matchup here between the Chicago Bears and the Cleveland Browns. Chicago Bears are 5-8. Huge victory over the Detroit Lions, keeping their playoff hopes alive. And the Cleveland Browns have separated themselves in the wild card race. They're 8-5, one game up over 6 other teams in the wild card race that are 7-6. I say this is going to be a very tough, tense matchup here for the Bears and Browns because these teams are, you can say, almost identical. I think outside, Joe Flacco doesn't run the ball nearly as well as Justin Fields, but both teams love to run the ball. I would say are more of a run-first team. They both have their number one type of receiver that both quarterbacks can sling it to pretty decently. They have a great tight ends, Cole Kmet and David Njoku, and the defense, especially in the run defense, are actually some of the top in the league. Chicago Bears front four is actually one of the best. Front seven, I would say, and their run defense is one of the best. Where the two teams separate is going to be in the secondary, and Bears this season, secondary-wise, passing the ball, if you have, unless if you're Josh Dobbs, they have not really been able to contain too many other quarterbacks, or also Jared Goff, I would say, who they have 5 picks on this season so far. So it'll be very interesting to see how the Chicago Bears are able to kind of crack down on Joe Flacco and Amari Cooper and the rest of that receiving core. And at the same time, too, how they are able to kind of break or find a little cracks in Myles Garrett and that defense as well, so they can able to consistently move the ball and then also hit DJ Moore and company as well. So want to throw a review here, Ryan. What are your overall thoughts on this game? Because huge matchup for both teams here. Cleveland trying to stay the number 5 seed and Bears trying to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, so Cleveland, I think they're doing this right now off of I think, defense alone. I think the offense looked good today, but I still think the defense is what gave them a lot of opportunities against the Jags to really come out and win. What was it, 31-20? 31-7. Okay.
No, 31-27.
31-27. Okay. But I think their defense, while giving up 27 points, was probably the reason why that they were even able to really compete in this matchup. And if the Bears have a chance, I think Justin Fields has to come out. He has to run for over 100 yards and a touchdown or two, and throw for over 200 with another couple touchdowns or 3 touchdowns for that matter. And just because I think the Browns defense, if they can keep this rushing attack in contain, it's going to be a really long day for this Bears offense, just because we haven't really seen them go up against an elite defense. Honestly, the best defense I think that they've played in the last 5 weeks is probably the Panthers, where they only put up 16 points. And that, to be fair, I think that was without Justin Fields. But still, like, this rushing attack can hurt a lot of teams just because Justin Fields has the ability to scramble and burn guys. So that's going to be interesting. But I think on the flip side, Joe Flacco showed he can distribute the ball really well to these weapons. Elijah Moore had a decent day today as well. And yeah, Amari Cooper, David Njoku are great supporting pieces, or not supporting pieces, but other guys in this offense as well. Because Amari Cooper is the main guy. Yeah,
they're great pieces.
They're great pieces, not supporting pieces.
Well, and that's one of the things that'll be interesting to watch as well, is how this Cleveland Browns offense goes up against this Chicago Bears defensive front. Because if you look at this defensive front for Chicago here, they traded for Montez Sweat, who and then they gave him a nice contract extension. But Montez Sweat, Andrew Billings, Justin Jones, and Unique Ngakoue. That's a solid front four. And then you look at TJ Edwards and then Tremaine Edmonds as well. And the
Edmonds had a really good game today. He was all over the place.
I mean, those guys alone, and then Jalen Johnson's also had he's their corner. Sorry, I thought it was linebacker. I saw LCB, left cornerback. But anyways, those front 6 guys though right there are solid. They're against also solid play as well from backups and rookie picks, Zach Pickens and Gervin Dexter as well. Marcus Walker, the former Titans player, as well as just a good overall defensive front that's allowing a lot of good pressure. And they're going to be going up against this Browns offensive line, who have injuries, yes, but that has not stopped them once. There's been so many injuries actually on this Browns team. This offense is still able to put up these kind of points with a 38-year-old Joe Flacco, which maybe, like, if he takes the Browns to the Super Bowl, potentially could put his name up in Canton. I think that would be interesting as well, because a couple Super Bowls with two teams, especially at very different times in his career, That would be very impressive coming off the couch. And
who are the other two, random trivia, who are the other two quarterbacks to do that?
To come off the couch and win the Super Bowl?
No. To win a Super Bowl with two different teams.
Peyton Manning and then Tom Brady.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make that known.
Oh, okay. Well, very fair. So,
both of whom will be in Canton for sure. So,
yeah,
if he could put his name in that group.
Yeah. I feel like Nick Foles. Does Nick Foles win 2 Super Bowl rings? One with the Eagles and then no, never mind. I take that back. Anyways, way to get us off track there. But it's going to be a very interesting matchup. The key difference for me is actually the Bears secondary. And so I want to make sure that I have they are allowing 230.8 passing yards per game here. And some of these teams, I like to say they have like a bend don't break mentality, but I feel like the Bears, if they're not able to get to the quarterback, there's only so much time. I feel if they're able to go up against a solid offensive line, the secondary can't really contain against a good receiving core with a confident passer. Now, it will be Joe Flacco's 3rd game, so maybe there's more film out there on him and how he works in this offense. But as you mentioned, though, with how well the Browns can run the ball with Jerome Ford and company, and then Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, David Njoku, David Bell had a touchdown today as well. It's going to be a very tough matchup, I feel, for this Bears secondary. They're going to have to play their A game because I feel everywhere else, though, it's going to be a close back and forth with how the Bears offense goes up against the defensive front for Cleveland. And then at the same time as well, Cleveland going up against the defensive front for Chicago. So it's going to be a great matchup here. Was not expecting this to be this good of a matchup when doing the preseason rankings. But let's get into our predictions here, though. But before we do that, if you have not already, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified whenever we create new content. Ryan and I, we have one final goal for the year, and that is to get to 2,333 subscribers. That is a very odd number, but that is because if we hit that number, we would have gotten 2,000 new subscribers within this calendar year. So help us reach our goal. Help us keep growing our community. We love chatting with you guys. So subscribe, and ring the bell. Ryan, who do you have winning this game and why?
So I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns. I think we look at what Minnesota was able to do 2 weeks ago against this Bears team, and they're a lot less talented than what the Cleveland Browns have on the defensive side of the ball. And I just think the Browns, they're going to be able to get pressure on Justin Fields. And historically, Justin Fields has not fared well under pressure. And I think they'll be able to kind of contain his scrambling and running, which to me, I think is the X factor of this offense. It's what makes this offense run. And if they can keep that in check while getting pressure on him, I think that this offense stands no chance. And I do think that the Browns offense with Joe Flacco is going to be efficient enough to put up 20 or so points. Mm-hmm. Maybe 24, I think, is probably where I'll have them be. But I just think the Browns are going to be the better team. I'll say 24-13 will be my final score.
24-13. I think it'll be a little bit higher scoring than that. I am going to go with the Browns here. I feel overall there's going to be a little bit more consistent. I trust Kevin Stefanski a little bit more, I would say, than Matt Eberflus. But I want to give a shout out there to Justin Fields. It's going to be a very unique situation on where the Bears end up this offseason with their picks, because the Panthers are not good at all, and they're probably going to have the first overall pick. And then with this quarterback class and how Justin Fields has been playing, I think there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to offer good trade picks if the Bears decide to part away from Justin Fields. But I think he's played great. They need another receiver. I think that's another thing in this matchup as well that helps me lean towards Cleveland. If you just look at the overall weapons that they have, DJ Moore has been fantastic. Cole Kmet, I really like Cole Kmet. I think he's an underrated tight end in this league. But they don't really have anybody else. I don't want to hear these arguments about Darnell Mooney, be like, oh, he's their number 2. He's not. Like, I'll take Malik Neighbors over Darnell Mooney every single day of the week. And I think adding a guy like that to this offense would be extremely special. And then, especially then, too, I like Roschon Johnson as well. You could have the makings of a very unique, I would say, skill position room come the 2024 season. Whether Justin Fields is the quarterback, or if it's Caleb Williams or Drake May or Jaden Daniels, whichever route that they want to end up going. So it's going to be interesting to watch to see what they do over the offseason. But when it comes to this week, I just don't know if there's enough weapons, so to say, to keep up or to stymie this Browns defense. And then I don't believe the Bears secondary will be able to contain Cooper, Moore, Njoku, and the likes of the company as well.
Yeah. So I just think the Browns are going to be a little bit too talented for the Bears right now. So we're both taking Cleveland. Let's go ahead and wrap this video up here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe and help Todd and I reach that goal of getting to 2,333 subscribers. And while you're down there, leave a comment on who you think is going to come out ahead in this matchup. Will it be the Chicago Bears? Will it be the Cleveland Browns? Other than that, we will see you guys next time.